ST, even though he was not able to make it to the finals, does take a 3-0 and gets third place.
The big story here was really ST getting into Marine King's head. It's like he always knew what was happening. He always knew his chance where he could go in. And even in the last game, when Marine King played a lot safer, where he had this triple barracks wall and added the additional bunker, he was able to break through. Marine King didn't see it in time, didn't just get a second wall. So right now, sit for Marine King. He's down.
That's it,
fourth place.
He is out. Nesty is done as well, but he'll take 2,000 more euros home. Look at that crowd. There's so many people here. That's just one glimpse. That's one speck of the crowd. Nesty's comeback, that sign is so true. It's telling the truth.
Yeah, it's definitely telling the truth here. Nesty with an amazing tournament. He wasn't able. It was so close to defeating DRG, getting to the final, but then falls down, goes into the bronze match, and he takes it with a 3-0. No chance for Marine King.
Very aggressive play from Nesty, taking any opening that Marine King gave him, he jumped right into it and tore him apart. So that does it, man. Marine King out, losing all but one game in both series he played.
I feel sorry for him.
You know,
really
I feel like maybe his emotions got in the way a little bit. You know, he did not seem on top of his game. He made a few mistakes. He was very predictable in his series. But it's tough right now for him. In the state of StarCraft 2 right now, Zergs are dominating, and maybe he feels a little bit frustrated by that. Whether or not it's a balance issue, there's some frustrations attached to this.
That was definitely not a balance issue.
That was
Marine King being
that was
read
not
by
a balance issue.
That was an open book to ST.
Exactly.
Who always knew what was going on. So even the famous that was just Marine King being way too predictable.
He was too predictable, and Nesty didn't even use the strategies that people are talking about being really strong right now. He used old school strategies, just finding the weaknesses of Marine King and exploiting them. The Baneling attack, even though Marine King suspected it, it was just too much for him to handle because he tries to cut too many corners. He's trying to get his barracks up and his factory and his third CC, only makes one bunker. It's not enough, even with that crazy wall.
Yep. So Marine King goes down without taking a single map in the bronze match. We have a third place. We still have the final to be played. It's going to be, of course, live versus DRG. Before we jump into the final, we have a little bit more going on the streams, though. And one of the things is we are throwing it back to Zoe. And let's see what those guys have to say about the game and about the rest of the Iron Squid tournament.
Very, very convincing game from Nesty. Why are you smiling already?
Oh no, I was just
just really happy.
Well, I was having a conversation with Todd about microphone placement and sort of holding it because we've been
Sean.
doing the
Yes.
Tell me. Let me tell you about it. Listen, you were talking about
you kind of ruined my intro there.
I'm totally ruining it. But here's the thing: we're talking about various levels to hold the mic, and all of a sudden we were live, and we both gave each other a look like, because we may have had everything that we said go out live. And then you asked me what was up, and I have now conveyed everything. So Zoe, back to you for the next introduction.
Thank you very much, Sean. So that game was, I can't actually go back to this, but I guess I have to. So Nesty came third again. I heard some people talk about before the tournament started about the placement, who's going to be where, and a lot of people actually thought that Nesty is coming fourth. However, he didn't. Did you expect that?
I always expected Marine King to come fourth, unfortunately for him. That sounds like really cryptic and everyone's going to hate me and like, oh,
yeah,
you just met Marine King Primer! But like, ZVT for him is really hard right now. Really, really difficult. It's arguably his worst matchup. And
it is also Nesty's worst matchup to go up against Terrence.
All right. But
so it technically was fair.
All right, but still, Marine King's been struggling here for quite a while, so this tournament was always going to be difficult for him. And ST just played right in every single one of those games, just completely busting every little chance that Marine King would actually have to make any headway in those games, especially on Antigua Shipyard and Cloud Kingdom. So
yeah, he said he really restricted him to 2 bases, not giving him a chance to do anything, and then just coming up with the whole force of Banelings and Zerglings. What's your general take on, on that matchup? Like, what
Yeah.
do you think is there to do to prevent something like that from happening?
Well, I mean, talking a little bit about just Marine King Prime as a player, that he has such a huge range of styles, and he's capable of actually taking out the best of the best. Even though the number-wise TVZ might be his, on the weaker side as of late, you watch his games against Life, and he was really close to taking that to Game 5. He clearly had that win in his hands on Ohana. And given that, I do think that there's just a small way for him to go to be able to start consistently making it to finals and consistently taking out those Zerg players. But I think Nesty in that last series demonstrated, and also in a series with Dongre Gu, demonstrated that there's these huge consideration gaps in the metagame where people are just not worrying about attacks, and then he's doing these roach with no speed attacks in Zerg vs Zerg and these Ling Baneling maneuvers. We haven't seen those in many months, and the fact that he's able to use those to take out someone of MKP's caliber really shows that there's still a ton of learning to go in Wings of Liberty. Fortunately, it's only out for about 5 more weeks, and then Heart of the Swarm comes out, but still, it's really cool to see how all the corner cutting that people have sort of developed over time has opened up the ability for all these early attacks to be hugely successful.
So, Heart of the Swarm coming out soon, and you, dear Todd, have just been playing it, and I gotta say, I as rude as that's gonna sound, but I didn't expect you to win because you were so worried. No, like you kept sitting here, you kept sitting here and telling me that you haven't played much and you're not sure and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was just like 2-0ing him.
I didn't expect
what about
you to win
that?
either time.
See, why are you laughing about my statement?
The games went pretty well, but actually, I wanted to say something about the ZVT we just
No,
saw.
you're not allowed. Okay, go on. No, come on, Todd. Tell us everything about
I
it.
think Sean covered Marine King pretty well, but I want to talk a little bit about Nesty. I've been very impressed by him. He's definitely played the opponents more than the matchups in this tournament. He played 2-3 versus Dongregu, which already is very impressive, barely losing in the last epic game. And then now he took out Marine King with 3-0. A lot of people were counting him out. Before that, he beat Parting in quarterfinals. So mad props to Nesty. And I can understand why he's the fan favorite here, just because he's very impressive and it's always nice to see him win. And yeah, coming back to Heart of the Swarm.
I mean, we already really made an in-depth analysis about your game.
What did you say?
I mean, Todd,
That's just too much of in-depth.
No, you don't want to.
Todd, how much do you think Heart of the Swarm will have an impact on how much of a boss you are, having demonstrated already the status of your bossness with that 2-0 in the show match?
Pretty big impact, maybe.
That sounded so cool with you wearing that suit and all. Oh God! What's happening? I don't know. But yeah, actually, we were talking about the synergy of the force fields and the time warp. You like really distracted me. Well, it's okay. Keep on going. Pretend nothing happened. So, how did it felt for you? Because Caloris was saying that it almost feels a little too strong. I mean, you showed us how easily it was to take down your opponent with that.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I had never used Time Warp like a lot before, but yesterday I was playing some ladder and I played one game versus Munchi and the player from Ostrich, and like he attacked and he used a Time Warp like in the middle of my army, and I was like, this was so well thought. He planned the force fields and he planned the Time Warp. I'm just gonna do it from now, and that's what I did today, and it went well. So I'm not sure exactly. I guess as a Terran, you can't move out before Steam now, and once you have Steam, it's different because you can move out of the Time Warp area, and then you have Medivacs and everything. But before that, yeah, it does look pretty difficult. The Mothership Core wasn't really affecting early on rushes or fights outside of your base because you could only use Purify in your base before, but now since you have Time Warp, you have a lot of options. You can catch the Terran army out of position. It can also help defend if you don't have enough energy yet for Purify. So I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's like the perfect tool for retreating armies. I mean, even against Zerg players, you could just throw down a Time Warp right in front of a couple of roaches, and the other has to go around it and get force fielded or go through it and still get force fielded. No matter what, he's getting force fielded, Todd.
I really enjoyed it because I normally mess up my force fields, and now I just have more time to place them. So that's actually really convenient for me. Now I don't have to be fast anymore. I just have to hit that Time Warp.
But you have to place the time off for the
That-
beginning.
Oh yeah, but I can get the practice in.
I would love like an upgrade, a spell that just makes the game on normal speed for like 10 seconds. like there's about to be like a bunch of banelings moving in, and then you're like, and normal speed, and then you like micro, and it's like really easy, and the guy with the banelings is like, I hate that spell. Somebody should take that out of the game, and then it just goes back to normal speed again. All your stuff dies anyways because Zergs make like 40 banelings at a time.
That'd be trippy.
Dude, I should.
Perfect.
I need to work in balance design.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
What would be your first
Imbalanced
change?
design.
This, what you just said?
Yeah, my first change would be each command center / hatchery / nexus has energy, okay? And it costs 50 energy to change the game speed. And it's actually permanent change. It's like a toggle. Like you cast a spell and the whole game pauses. So that we have, like, if you want to crack your knuckles, you can do it then. And it's in this period of time that a slider appears on the screen and you get to move what you want the new game speed to be. But you can only go up one tick or down tick. Like if you're at fastest ×2, you can't go to slowest. You can just tick it down a
You think
bit.
this is going a bit too far? You said just 10 seconds at first. No, you
No,
said the
but
whole
the thing
game?
is, I'm iterating.
Okay.
I have a process where I'm
Okay.
figuring out how I want the game to be as I go. In other words, I'm making it up as I'm talking. So with this mechanic, like you might be Protoss, you might only be able to take your natural because you're against Terran, but you build like 4 nexuses in your base, you can slow it down and cover yourself from all those drops.
You know what I always wanted to have? Music in the background when you're talking. And you know what we have on the main stage right now?
What is that?
Music. We have Inikronia to play a medley, and it's actually going on right now. And we don't want you guys to miss it. As much as I love your changes in the game, I really want to. I just tried hard because the production team told me that I should. I think I did well. I don't. You just ruined it for me. You ruined it for me. That was flawless. So we're gonna show you the music on stage now. Enjoy. Welcome back, and now have our two players who just been playing for the third place with me. He's just chilling out, right? That was intense, those matches. Once more, we of course also have Rice joining us. So first of all, of course, congratulations for to both of you guys for coming that far. You took the third place again, just like in the last one. How does that feel for you? Did you want to come further? I mean, I know you guys have been talking beforehand and in interviews said like you don't feel too confident and you're not sure if you're going to do well. Are you happy now with the third place?
형 먼저 3등해서 축하드린다고요. 그리고 형 지난번 아이언 스퀘드에서도 3등 했는데 이번에 또 3등 했는데 그냥 기분 어떤지요? 그냥 더 여기 와서 두 번째로 올 때 그냥 뭐 더 높이 더 잘하려고
더 잘하고 싶었는데 저번에 3등을 했으니까 이번에는 그래도 준우승 정도는 이상 했었어야 되는데 좀 아쉬운 마음이 좀 크고 다음에 또 기회가 되면은 꼭 우승을 할 수 있도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
He's kind of disappointed because last time he made the third place and he hoped that he could go further this time, but he made third place again. So he hopes if he has a chance again for the next Iron Squid, he hopes he can at least win it.
Oh, we very much hope to see you again because seriously, that ZVZ from you, that was insanely awesome to watch. Like we really sat here and we were like enjoying this so much. So thanks a lot for playing so well and letting us see your games. And now a quick question to you as like we have the pictures in the booth, we have like the cameras in the booth, so we see how you guys react. And I see like all the other players are like wiggling around and just doing stuff and you're just like still. Is that always like that? Or are you just so calm? Or are you just like nervous on the inside?
다른 무대에서 카메라 들어와 있잖아요. 그럼 보이잖아요. 선수들 어떻게 행동하는 거. 형 무대에서 네, 아니 형 안에 그냥 다른 선수들마다 게임할 때마다 움직이면서 뭐 행동하는데 형은 마다 조용히 앉아 있고 그냥 그 옛날부터 그랬는지요.
아니 원래 티를 안 내서 그렇지 속으로는 막 이렇게 혼자 노래하고 막 그러면서 그러니까 발은 안 나오니까 발로 막 이렇게 박자 맞추면서 이렇게 하고 있어요.
Well, actually, you can't see his feet on in the booth, so actually his feet are like dancing, like stepping and stuff, and he's listening to music. And inside, actually, outside, he looks really calm and stuff, but inside is actually a lot of going on.
All right, well, that's interesting to know. So let's also, of course, talk a little bit to you. It's been so nice to have a Terran in the Final Four at all. And you've been the Terran Hope, and you've done incredible well during your playoffs and everything. Now you lost against Nesty, and it just seemed like the games have been very similar. Like the style you've been losing against felt similar to the people watching. You've been always like being a bit more greedy. Why are you not changing that? Like, is that just the way you feel most comfortable playing?
먼저 여기 와서 축하드리고 그리고 예선에서 그냥 다 뚫고 잘 올라왔는데 그 여기서 지금 제대형한테 3대0 졌는데 계속 판이 다 비슷하게 졌잖아. 베인이랑 저긴 들어와서 그리고 너가 게임 한 방법 좀 뭐지? 그냥 뭐 커맨센터 빨리 지든지 그냥 막 greedy잖아. 그냥 뭐 그 왜 그 방식 안 바꿨는지 계속 그것 때문에만 지잖아. 사실 똑같은 거로 지는데 왜 그거 안 바뀌는 스카우팅도 안 하고 그런 식.
일단 일단 저그전을 너무 요새 안 해가지고 좀 감이 많이 떨어진 것 같아요. 그리고 아까 제덕이 형이랑 할 때 좀 잘못 짚어가지고 제가 조금 저 혼자 좀 이상하게 한 것 같아요. 좀 아쉽네.
Well,
그리고 이제 그리디 안 해야 될 것 같아 이제 느꼈어요.
Well, he said at the end that he thinks that he won't play any not greedy anymore. He learned his lesson and he didn't play that much TVZ lately, so he thinks like his preparation wasn't that good. And against NST, a lot of things went wrong, and he didn't play his A game. So it's just like he has to change his play style.
Yeah, so it still has been very entertaining, so thanks a lot, of course, also to you. And now I want to give you guys the final words. You guys seen the crowd out there? You've heard them. You heard how amazingly loud they are and how supportive they are of both of you guys. Like, they didn't cheer less for any of the players. They were like, that was all equal. And of course, the guys at home are also cheering for you guys. So is there anything you want to say to your fans?
팬분들한테 말하고 싶은 거 있나요? 팬분들?
일단 항상 감사드리고 응원해 주셔서 8위만 오면은 항상 너무 열정적으로 응원을 해줘가지고 너무 항상 감사하게 생각하고 있고 그리고 우리 LG 많이 좀 사랑해 줬으면 좋겠고.
Well, Nesti's obviously every time he comes to Paris, the second time, the crowd is going crazy. They're cheering for him, and it's really nice to see such a support. And he's really thankful for it and stuff. And he thanks the sponsor like AG and hopes that they're going to keep supporting them and helping them to come to those kind of events and to keep playing.
요새 해외 대회 몇 번 나갔는데 다 응원 많이 해주셨는데 항상 저거한테 좀 제가 못해서 져가지고 죄송한 마음도 있고 그리고 이번에 테란 혼자 나왔는데 너무 경기력이 안 좋아서 다음번에는 또 이렇게 해외대 프랑스 오면 절대 안 질게요. 네.
So he feels sorry because he was the only Terran here in the tournament and didn't play well. And lately, when he came to foreign events, he lost versus Zergs. So he's sorry for that he didn't practice his TVZ didn't improve his TVZ. And when there will be a chance for him to come to the next to France or outside of Korea again, he hopes he will win it. He will win the tournament.
Great. So thanks a lot. You guys really deserved all the support you get, and I hope that's very much more in the future. And I, of course, hope we're going to see you both in the next Iron Squid. So thanks for taking the time. Once more, thanks for translating. And, you know, as you have seen throughout the whole day, Iron Squid likes to do big things, to announce anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So, of course, before we head into the final game, we once more have a big thing for you out there. So stay tuned.